everybody. Hope that you guys have had a good week. It has been quite the week for me, and I guess it's going to be that way for a while. Life's keeps lifing. The goal is to take it head on and do the things that are necessary to be the best you can possibly be. And this is in the midst of the challenges that come along with life. With that being said, I continuously thank you guys because of the pouring out of love that I am receiving due to the loss of my mom. And it's just coming, and it is positively overwhelming, and it is needed and it is appreciated, and I just want to first of all say thanks for that. Next, get all of the pleasantries out of the way. If you like the videos that you see, if you take what you hear in these videos as something of value to you in whatever way, click the like button, click the share button so that others can benefit from it, and then subscribe so that you can be alerted to other material and content as it is added to the channel. And before I get off into this, and I can't even believe we got to have this conversation, but we're going to have it. Before I do that, look, you know the work I've done for 30 years. Probably the most extensive research, library and publications, period. I've been doing this for 30 years on a number of different topics plaguing the community. I've used my research and the research of others and extant data to create multiple programs over the course of the years and implement those programs in the community. If you follow me, you know. If you don't, the link to the organization's official website is in there. You can just look at what's been done, the blueprint for Black empowerment, the Black Code of Conducts, Black Men Lead, Restoring Ghetto's Guiding Daughters, and so many others that I've been a part of that I have done. So if you believe in that work, we need you now more than ever as we embark upon this 18-month research and study into mental health and its impact on Black men, homelessness, and the Black home and Black community, and how we can mitigate its impact. And it's huge because it's so interconnected. And the more I look, the more I delve, the more I'm gaining understanding, but there's so much more to know. There's so much more to understand. And so again, if you believe in the work that I've done, if you've searched out the books that I've written and found things informative and empowering and bringing a level of awareness, right now we need your support. So show some love and contribute. The information on how you can give is in the information box or the description box or wherever the written information for the videos are, depending on the platform that you're watching this on. Now, again, it just blows my mind that I'm having to have this conversation, but this is where we seem to kind of hang out in asinine crap that catches traction. One thing that bothered me, outside of really truly loving being married and loving my wife, when I went through my divorce, the biggest part of my problem was my identity was a husband. That was it. That's what I wanted to be. I didn't want anything else. And losing that was rough for me. The other part that bothered me was I didn't want to have jack crap to do with the dating pool. I didn't want to date. That's the last thing I wanted to do. Still don't. I mean, it's like, I don't know where I don't want to be alone, but I ain't dating, because you're about to find out why if you don't already know. But that was the thing. It's just like, what in the hell have we come to? We're so lost. We have allowed social media and mainstream media to shake us so much at the core that we don't even know who we are. The things we demand, the things we expect without anything sitting on the surface, totally blows my mind. let's start with this. There's a video going around of a black woman, who went on a date with someone looks like they are probably Arab, Indian, something like that. Non-black, non-white. Let's put it that way. Probably Indian, but anyway, she goes on a date with him. And outside of the fact that he looks like he may be, sort of financially okay, just judging from appearance, and that don't mean jack, because there's people out here riding around in Camrys that are millionaires, people riding in Maseratis, can't pay their rent. So that's just based on surface. It looks like, he may have a little something. So obviously she's got a certain thing she's thinking, but she thought it was a good idea because he wanted to take her somewhere. And from what I understand, and the story gets convoluted the more it goes, so I can give you what the context is based off of what I heard, and then I can tell you exactly what I saw her say. So the context is he was trying to take her somewhere nice, but she made him late for the reservation. And instead of trying to wait on another reservation, he decided to take her to the Cheesecake Factory. She lost her freaking mind. She didn't think that it was acceptable for their first date to be at the Cheesecake Factory, because the Cheesecake Factory is a chain restaurant. And she wanted something more, quote unquote, prestigious. Well, I mean, some of the top restaurants that everybody talks about going to, Roof Chris, Steak 48, all those places are chain restaurants. There's more than one of them, and they're in different places and cities. And my whole thing is, it isn't even about why she thinks it should be done. It's the idea that the first thing that we're judging about a potential relationship is how much money you're going to spend on me. Now, that's from the female perspective. And on the flip side, and I don't want to convolute this too much, but on the flip side, you got a bunch of guys that want they're on this whole submissiveness trip without understanding the dynamic of submission that I don't have time to get into right now. But see, I'm going to give you the basics on both of this. There's nothing wrong with a woman expecting to be cared for. She's supposed to. It's a male's responsibility to cover her. A part of covering her is protecting her, providing for her, which includes feeding her, and all of that. And any man that is truly interested in a woman shouldn't have a problem with wanting to make sure she's okay. And to the level and extent that he is capable of affording, take her to somewhere nice. Show her a nice time. Give her something to sit up and go ooh, ah about. But here's the problem. Where are the priorities in this? Now, if I can afford to do that, great. But here's the thing, ladies, this is what you should be looking at. Not where he's taking you, but what is he capable of? My thing is, he should be able to, instead of talking about him where he's taking you, instead of paying attention to what he's driving, ask him what his vision is. Because, see, he may be driving something he can't afford. He may be taking you to a place he can't afford. I would rather sit up, when I'm teaching my daughters, I would rather them sit up and see a young man say, you know what, I would love to take you XYZ, but unfortunately, this is what's going on right now. What I can do, I can comfortably take you here, and then we can do something else, and then we can consistently keep this particular pace up. If I take you here, we probably won't go anywhere for a couple of weeks until I can get my paper back right, because I'm spending all of my discretionary money, and probably some that's not discretionary, trying to impress you. I would much rather have my daughter be impressed with a man's vision, his drive, his will, his level of intellect, his level of awareness of who he is and where he's going, than where he can take her on the first date. And the idea that the way you respond to that is, number one is, if you're going to be that picky as a woman on where you are going to eat, now, hey, look, you over 20. First date don't need to be at McDonald's. The first date does not need to be at McDonald's. This car has stopped right in front of me, and I'm so close up on this one. I can't get around them. So this is crazy. But sorry about that, guys. Look, so yeah, you over 22, 23, 24, you want to be taking them to McDonald's. You want to take them somewhere, based again on what it's capable of. Because to me, financial responsibility is more important than flossing, bossing, whatever the term is these days. So, but the priority is, if you're going to be that picky, then what you need to be doing is saying, hey, look, if you're going to take me out, these are the places I want to go. Give them a short list of where you want to go, and then let them decide is if they see that you're worth that. And to me, to be totally honest, I have a problem depending on where I've been in my life, and I can pretty much, if I meet somebody, take them somewhere nice. Any of the places that the average person is going to consider nice, I can do it. But my whole thing is, outside of your looks, what else are you sitting up at the time that this date is happening that's saying you're worth the investment? Because that's what a date is now. It's an investment. I am investing my money, my time, my gas, and everything else to take you and entertain you and feed you and give you a good time so that I can get to know you better, so that I can determine if you're someone that I want to actually invest in being around or spend more time around. That is ultimately what it is. So then I need to be saying, what about her? Because see, you're gauging my value on what I spend. So what am I gauging my value on? I mean, how am I gauging how I value you? And so my whole thing is the idea that you want to shame the person, you want to put it up, and and personally, I like the Cheesecake Factory. I'm more of a Grand Lux person when it comes to that particular brand. I'm more of a Grand Lux person, but shit, I'll eat at Cheesecake Factory. And I haven't actually been with anybody that had a problem with eating there. So I don't, and my thing is, the idea that I am too good to eat at the Cheesecake Factory from someone that is obviously not from old money. And those who understand what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. Those, I can't really explain it. But people who come from old money have old traditions. And they go places, they eat places. They hang out at the golf club. They eat at the golf club. They eat at the country club. They eat at places. So they have a different idea of where they want to be and socialize and the type of people they want to be around. So maybe for them, the Cheesecake Factory isn't that thing. But when you come from the hood, you may acquire a taste, but you're not too good from the places you come from. Like, I still go back and grab stuff out the hood every now and then. Even though I've long since moved along and I can pretty much afford what I want, I still go back because I haven't gotten better than that. Now, if it's not good for me or healthy for me, it doesn't matter who sells it, I don't want it. But I'm talking about where it comes from. If you prepare it well, you're clean, it tastes good, I don't mind sitting down and eating with you. But the whole idea that somebody's first date they got to spend a half a band on you, come on, really? I mean, we've become so convoluted in what true relationship building is. That's why you got such a high divorce rate, because women chasing the bag, men chasing the body, and trying to, the body in the bag. I've been talking about for a while, the body in the bag. Everybody's chasing the superficial things and nobody's looking within. Nobody's sitting up and saying, can I commit to the long term of building something with this person? Because that's what the relationship is supposed to be about. Not just what the person can do for you. Yeah, he's a man. He's supposed to be able to come in and do some things, but you're supposed to be bringing some things to him too. You're supposed to be bringing him some things like affirmation, encouragement, insight. There should be something he can look at you and see outside of the person I take care of. And the idea that just simply being a woman is good enough is a problem. And dudes, just simply because you're a dude doesn't make you what a woman wants to submit to. What I'll tell you is, while we have a lot of broken sisters out there, that if you find a woman that's anywhere remotely close to being healed, and you give her leadership, you give her a covering, she knows she's safe with you, without even realizing, she will submit. Now, submissiveness is not yes, sir. Yes, sir, I'll do whatever you tell me. Submissiveness is I trust you to lead me. It doesn't mean that I won't resist at times. It doesn't mean that I don't have an opinion. It means that at the end of the day, I trust you to lead me. So when it comes to push come to shove, you have the final word. Because when shit goes wrong, who are they going to look at? Her or him? They're looking at him. If I'm going to be the one to look at, I'm going to be the one to make the decision. It's that simple. Now, I'm not a bossy person, so I'm not going around the house saying everything going my way. My grandfather wasn't that way, but it was undoubtedly who the head of the house was, even though my grandmother ran it. He was the head. He just knew, hey, I married someone who could run the house. So he lets her run it. When it was time to make a decision and there was a difference in opinion, his word was it. And I asked my grandmother, I told her one day, I said, I agree with what you said, but why is it that you are doing what he told you to do? And my grandfather had a second grade education because he was born the son of a sharecropper, and at 7 years old he had to go out and work the fields. So he dropped out in the second grade. So I said, he couldn't read. He wouldn't know you didn't do what he said. You could have did it and told him you did it. She said, nope, that's my husband. She says, he's the man of the house. And she told me, I can trust him not to be perfect, not to always make the right decision, but even when he's wrong, he'll fix it. That's all I can ever ask. When he makes a choice and then we realize it wasn't the right choice, he fixes it. That's all I can ask. And that's the thing that a woman surrenders to or submits to, guys. You sitting up talking about you doing this, you're doing that. I'm gonna tell you, like, even the money thing, she ain't submitting to that because she can get it. Any woman with a little brain and a hustle and some drive can go get the money. So now what are you bringing besides the bag? Are you protective? Are you covering her spiritually too? I'm not just talking physically. Are you covering her spiritually? Give her something to submit to. Give her something that she knows, if I don't have this dude, I don't have this. And when you give her that, she'll submit. Ladies, you want a guy to do all these other things to you? Be something that adds to him. Don't just be the source of the thing that takes. Be the person that adds to him. Hey, I got an idea. Hey, I know somebody. Hey, I just love the way you do this. Hey, I really thank you. And ladies, I'm going to tell you this. This is going to piss you off. Don't really care, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Look, stop buying into this modern day bullshit that says, why should a man get praise for what he's supposed to do? And brothers, y'all stop buying. I hear brothers talking about it. Well, why should I get praise for doing what I'm supposed to? Because that's actually how your brain works. That's how God actually designed you. That's why the Bible's full of affirmations. That's why the biggest thing a woman does for a man is affirming. And in Black America is the only place where people don't get acknowledged for doing what they're supposed to do. You get acknowledged at your job. You get a freaking raise for doing what you're supposed to at your job. But you're not supposed to even get acknowledged. Why I gotta say something about that? He doing what he's supposed to. Because this is what'll happen with a man, ladies. You see him doing something, you say, oh my God, I appreciate you for holding it down. I appreciate you for being a provider. Guess what he's gonna do? He's gonna go out that shit. He don't even know why, but it's something that drives him when a woman that he cares about tells him he's on his shit. He's gonna get up and go out and get on it even harder. It's just simply the way we're built. But if all we get is only the negative stuff we don't do, eventually we start to feel unappreciated. We start to feel like all you want to do is just poke. Like, I done 50 million things, and this one thing, you're not finna let it go. Eventually, he's gonna get tired. He's gonna stop caring. He's either gonna stop doing it, or he's gonna stop caring, or he's gonna start moving around. And this isn't justifying any of that. I'm telling you, that's how the behavior starts. Right is right, wrong is wrong, but you still should understand. If I'm creating a situation, what should I expect? We need to learn how to appreciate and care for one another. We should learn how to understand that the best way to improve a relationship or to give it the best chance to win is not to look and see what you're going to get, but ask yourself, what are you going to add? When you ask yourself, what am I bringing? What am I adding? What am I giving? How am I making her life better? How am I enhancing her life? Versus, can she cook? Can she do this? Can she, all this stuff? Let me see, what am I bringing? For what I'm going to ask of her, what am I giving her? Based on what I'm expecting from her, what am I giving her? What is it? Am I even in a space where I should be able to sit up and expect that? And if the answer is yes, I'm bringing it, then I have a right to say this is what I want. But this whole Cheesecake Factory, really, she looks like a clown, because you're not that person. You're not that person that's too good to eat at the Cheesecake Factory. You somebody that thought you had a sucker and you want to get them to pay for what you want to get them to pay for so you can tell your friends where they took you to eat. All that superficial bull crap that actually brings nothing of value in it, anything substantive. And you'll end up being like so many other people in your 50s and 60s, lonely and upset, swearing to God and trying to prove to everybody that you're not lonely. And guys, I don't know about y'all, maybe I'm just a little different, because I grew up in a house where my parents were, in their 80s and stuff. My grandfather passed away, and they had been there in that house for decades. Maybe I'm just like that, and I want somebody next to me. But all this player shit over and over again, you gotta grow out of that shit. And I know that the sexual market value of a man increases after 35 while a woman's decreases, and so your stock goes up the older you get. But eventually, you're still gonna be old. Eventually, you're still gonna be long. You'll be wrinkled and old, and all the stuff, and all the things you can enjoy with a person, you're gonna miss it playing the stupid games. And you can't, it's hard as hell to build like that too. It is so freaking hard to build, dropping seeds every fucking where. And I'm telling you that because I've made mistakes like that. It's hard building. I don't care how much money you got. Having kids in multiple places wears your ass out. There's certain things money can't cover. It's certain things money can't buy. I'm trying to kick some knowledge to you. I'm trying to get out of the science box for a minute and talk real life to you. It's science behind it, but I'm talking real life to you. We are on both sides of that. Ladies, keep letting them gas you on handling men and talking to men the wrong way and being disrespectful and all these super girl trip. Oh, that's cool. When it comes to holding and protecting you, that's a man. When it comes to that soft, subtle whisper that'll calm the deepest and darkest fears, that's a man. Your sister, she can go with you, but y'all brains work just alike. So y'all both will get caught up in that whirlwind. He'll speak to your insecurities and your fears, and he'll calm them because his mind doesn't work and isn't afraid the same way yours is. That's why he is put out front, and he's built to be the big, bad, strong person, because he's built to go attack what you are afraid of. We got a lot of work to do. Again, I'm about to get off of here, go in and talk with some men, share with some men. They've been loving on me again, with the things going on with my mom. So I'm gonna lean into them a little bit. But again, thank you guys. If you believe in the work I'm doing, again, show some love, show some support. If you like or you don't like what I just shared, leave some comments. Let me know how you feel. Not that I'm gonna go change anything, but maybe you see something I don't see. Maybe you feel a certain way. But hey, the bottom line is, we've got to get deeper. We got to go deeper. We got to be stronger. We've got to be wiser. We got to learn how things work, and we've got to take care of ourselves. And building the family value system back up is at the core of all of that. So this is what this was about to me, is you can't build family core values with the mindsets of the people that's doing the shit that she was doing. And on that note, look, I'm going to get out of here. Again, thank you guys. You have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon.